Da, 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 da. Hi, lovelies. Guess what? We're in the new galactic calendar time. It's a fabulous moment right now. Yeah. Let's take a look, shall we? Welcome to Be So Light. My name is Felicia, as well as Niana and Priestess Makala. Let's take a look. We got this beautiful face of the calendar, the new one. And now we're in it. Now we're in this. Ta-da! So, today is Friday, the Blue Rhythmic Storm, guided by self-generation. Yes, we are. Let's take a look, shall we? I got it already downloaded on my laptop, the new one. That's more. This one is from Law of Time. This one gives you like this thick book to follow. And I like using both of them. So, Saturday, which is tomorrow, is going to be a... Hi, lovely. How are you? It's going to be a wave portal day tomorrow. See? It's got that little X thing right there. It's going to be a portal day. Now, that's where you have extra energy to work with things, to cultivate. But today, remember yesterday I said, oh, I'm going to come on. Um, we're going to talk about taking your power back during chaotic times. Well, there's just going to be a little bit of a change on that, okay? First of all, let me start with, I woke up at 4:30 this morning because I did that work on myself of displacement along with everyone else. Okay, so I did it on myself first. Then I came and demonstrated it and passed it on to everybody here in the tribe. And then last night, I wake up at 4:30. I just come straight out of a sleep. And I wake up and I sit up and I go, something's different, something changed. I get out of the bed. I walk over to the window. I pierce back the blinds and I'm looking. I look up in the sky and I'm like, oh, well, that's different. I see stars. Now you're probably saying, well, what's so big about that? Well, the last few times I've looked out, and for quite some time, I've never seen as many stars that I saw. And the big bright one was there, and then I saw the red one that was not too far away from it. I'm not sure if that's Saturn or Mars. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's Venus that's really bright sitting up there. Um, and I'm like, wow. But then I see it almost kind of looks like the dipper, like a small dipper or something. And I was like, okay, that's different. I've never seen that. So I went into light language. I did some light grid, but this is the part that was weird. I traced the star alignment. And when I did that, I felt this, and I started moving like this, like I was inside that triangular, outside the window and the stars. And I was just like, oh, so if you trace it, make contact with it, and you trace that, you activate it within yourself, and then you become connected to it. And then that's a star system load. What do? My goodness. So I'm just looking and I'm like, something has shifted. I'm in a different space. I'm in a different, oh my gosh. And I totally could feel it. So, and I felt this so much that I was laying in bed and I said, I'm just going to lay here, take my time. I don't have to be up and do anything. I don't have to rush around, blah, da, da, da. I'm taking my time. And then I'm thinking, let me call and check in with my friend because she left a message and I got permission to talk about it, but I'm not going to mention her name. And I said, there's something going on because she was on my mind the other day. And I said, which was yesterday. And I said, I'm going to call her later on today. But then I looked at my phone and she had already called me. And I was like, oh, okay. So I go, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? So I quickly am just there. And this is what the messages stop looping. This is very important. Okay. So I listen. And Spirit comes in and says, just listen to her. Just listen. But bring her in to the medicine. Bring her into the galactic spiral light. Get that going. Get the transmission going. But just listen to her. I said, okay. So I'm listening and I'm listening and I'm listening and I'm hearing the looping. I'm hearing the pain. I'm hearing the fear. I'm hearing the lack. I'm hearing the scarcity. I'm hearing the rhythm. I'm hearing the cycle, the repeat cycle, and I can't get out. I feel stuck. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. And I'm like, yes, yes, keep talking to me, soul. Tell me what is blocking you. And she keeps telling me what's happening, what's going on, and how she's feeling, and she doesn't have energy, and she's worried about home and bills, and her husband is working so hard, and he's out on the road doing his work, and it comes home and he's tired, and his health is not good, and her health is not good, and it's this cycle that's going, and she's caught up in it, and she can't get out of it. And I said, let go. And she goes, I can't just let things go. I have to. You have to what? Well, I have to get on top of everything, and I have to do this, and and then there's the thing of now my taking on all the stuff with my mom, and I'm like, no, that's not yours to do. I'm staying in this whole space of no. And I'm waiting for Spirit to tell me when I'm going to release the Kraken. So she says a word. I can't, I have to control it. And I just went there. That word, control. And then there was other words that were the lack and scarcity and worry. That energy was blocking. And I said, you're looping. You're looping right now. We're starting a whole new galactic cycle. And you're still in the loop of the old. I said, let's just go there. And all I could think of is, let's go there. Let's go down that fucking road that has you blocked. Let's go down that road where the old cycle and belief is holding you hostage. You're holding yourself hostage there. Let's go to the parents and what you were indoctrinated into believing and their words, their lack and scarcity and limitations. Let's go there. Let's just go there. Let's go to what is your greatest fear. What's holding you hostage? Let's just go there. Let's go there. So as we dig into that, and I told her, I said, I just had to do this on myself yesterday on displacement. She goes, oh yes, I was watching that. I was watching that video on displacement, but I didn't get a chance to finish it. And I'm like, yeah, I know, sometimes I'm long, but it's because when I'm giving a message or I'm doing a teaching on something, I'm not done until Spirit tells me I'm done. When I show up and I'm giving the message, I just give the message until Spirit tells me I'm done. Because somebody out there is falling for their banana in the tailpipe story, and they keep looping themselves thinking that they're going to get out of their loop, and they don't break the spell on themselves of why they're looping. They're not willing to go look at that pain. They won't give themselves that permission to go look at what's hurting them, how they got in the loop in the first place, how long they've been looping in the first place. So when you're in the loop and you're in a cycle of old beliefs, especially when it's indoctrinated from your mother and your father, say like you have a mom that's constantly, she doesn't have root of home. When things become too messy or out of control or they don't have money or what, she uproots you and you move somewhere else and start again. Okay, that one doesn't work. Same thing's happening. Uproots you and you move and start again. So your whole life is spent in this powerful word, loss. Loss. You're constantly in suffering from loss. Loss of a home, loss of a place to be, loss of money, loss of health, loss of loved ones. But you keep picking up and you're moving to different places, experiencing loss all the time because you never get a chance to get over what you lost before. So that's a gaping wound sitting there oozing out all that stuff, and you never get a chance to heal it because you keep picking up, moving, avoiding doing the work on the loss. So you never get over it. So it keeps spiraling, looping. This circle, it's actually a loop. You just keep looping. And you keep thinking you're going to get out of it. Maybe one day, soon. Don't really know. You keep looping. So when you find yourself looping in that situation, in that cycle, and you don't give yourself permission to break out of it, you become a hostage to it. And that's what was so interesting about being in this moment with her and listening to her and saying, what is her main blockage? What is it? Loss. 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 Suffering from loss. Loss, loss, loss. I'm losing this. I'm losing that. Loss. Lost hours. Lost business. Loss, loss, loss. I said, yeah, that's right up there with displacement. When you are suffering from loss. You know, it's the same thing. When we stop and we look at how we're looping in that old belief, even if it comes from your mother and your father, how they handled money, how they taught you about money, how they taught you money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard for everything. Da 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 da. And no, we can't afford that. No, it's not in the budget. Well, if your friend has that, I am not the parent to your friend. I'm the parent to you. No, you can't get that right now. Can't afford it. No, I'm sorry, we're on a budget. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I was going to get that bonus and can't afford to get you that now. So what happens every time when our parents are living from a place of lack and scarcity? Because the parents of that parent live from a place of lack and scarcity. We keep passing it on. And then somewhere down the line, Somebody has to stop the cycle and says, I no longer consent to this cellular memory of lack, scarcity. I no longer consent to that. And it is not mine to carry of my mother and father, of my generation, of my ancestors. It stops today with me. It stops now. I am breaking the soul contract on this. And to be able to just see it for what it is and go in there and just say, I'm done. I don't want to move anymore. I'm tired from going from place to place to place to place. I'm tired of not having stability. I'm tired of not having the funding, the money. I'm tired of surviving or just getting by. Oh my gosh, do you know how many people in America, anywhere else on this planet, that is the lingo. I'm just getting by. I'm surviving. Because we spend so much time in that cycle, we're not even living. Because you're living in a place of loss. And that has got to stop. It has to stop. Because you can't live for yourself and you can't live for your children and keep passing the cycle down. Because then what happens? They grow up with the same, oh no, my mom and dad taught me about that. And nobody catches it to make it go, let me stop this. How are you going to ever live your life in its fullest divineness if you are looping from the loss of the past, bringing it into your present, and now is linking to your future? We have to stop the looping. It stops with you when you finally say, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this anymore. Hi, lovely. I'm not, it doesn't, you know what? When you have an old belief that follows you, that's in your mind, that creates a lot of blockage for you, it doesn't matter what degree you have. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. Because somewhere down the line is not going to be enough. There's going to be some kind of problem. It's going to be some kind of financial thing going on. Because there's somewhere in the looping that's following you that's saying lack and scarcity. I'm so afraid of loss. I don't want to lose what I have. Okay, that right there, you're setting it up. When you say that, I don't want to lose it. I'm tired of losing this, or I'm tired of being in loss energy. Okay, it's not working here. Now I got to pick up and start again. But I leave everything behind so I can start again. Where is the healing in that? Where is the giving yourself permission to just say, I'm fucking done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. Some of us are carrying the burdens of our mothers and our fathers and our generations and ancestors and don't even know it. And you are not living your life. You're living from a place of loss. You're living from a place of lack. You're living from a place of scarcity. You're living from a place of, I hope it works. I'm surviving. No, we don't have time for that. We're done with this cycle. We have to give ourselves permission and say, I don't consent to this anymore. It is not mine to carry. And to really mean it. Because when you break a cellular memory, when you break a cellular looping, when you break that energy and you really give your voice to it and you say, I'm not doing it anymore, it stops. Because you stepped up, you brought attention to it, and you just said, okay, I see it for what it is. I recognize it. I feel it. I don't like it. It's been a part of my life for a very long time. I am now choosing, here's the power. I am now choosing to change it. I am now choosing to shift the words I say to myself that makes me a hostage to myself. And when you hold yourself a hostage to your own scenarios, your own realities of what's happening, and it's been looping and it keeps creating it, you are the one that has to break it. Nobody else can do it for you. Because you're the one that's agreeing to stay in the energy of the looping. And this is where we have to dig in and capture that energy and say no more. Because once you bring soul awareness to it, or whatever the situation is, you bring awareness to it and you say, I am not consenting to this anymore. The fact that you say those words, the universe hears it, your soul hears it, and says, oh, we have a healing here. This is no longer going to be a match. Oh, darn. Ooh. Okay, what's the new one? Good. I just kept talking because it was doing its spinning as soon as I said break the soul contracts. Powerful. So that's right on track when you have to break the soul contracts. Break the soul contracts of what your mother and your father taught you. If you were constantly moving all the time, especially if you were in military, or if you were just, your mother was one of these people or your father was one of these people, every time when things got rough in the house or what, they didn't want to stay, they became the gypsy and just moved right along. Leave the mask behind, keep moving, find another place, start anew. Every now and then that gets old. That gets old really quick. And the child who is suffering through that, the loss every time, oh, now I got to start a brand new school, and now I got to start somewhere else new. I had left all my favorite things behind. I couldn't bring it. We could only take what we had to because it was time to move on again. And then when we get to a new place, I look at my mom or my dad and I say, how long are we going to be here? How long is this going to last? And you know what's happening? That divine child within, the child that's witnessing all this stuff that's happening, that divine child is becoming lost within you. It no longer has a joy or happiness connection. It's just there. Sad. Depressed, maybe. Having anxiety. Grieving of loss. So now you have to go in, and after you break the contracts with the mothers and the fathers and the generations and the ancestors, to not carry that, because when you acknowledge that and you allow yourself to break that energy, you shift your awareness and your whole body shifts. The energy around you shifts because you're not tapped into the loss unless you take yourself back there on your own and do it. You're not tapped into that loss energy. So now you have this divine child in front of you, which is you. And you have to take that divine child by the hands and say, I am not going to allow you to stay in the looping energy anymore. Close your eyes right now. Welcome to Peace and Light. Close your eyes. Take this child by the hand, this divine child by the hand, and say, the current situation or whatever I am looping in that comes up and has been blocking me from old beliefs, old cycles, old patterns, I am not going to allow you to carry it anymore. It's not yours to carry. Tell this divine child, or whatever you are dealing with, that you felt like it was yours since you were young, to take that on, to take on other people's hardship and their burdens, and you had to be the one to take over and do things because your parents were missing in action or your parents weren't being your parents. You grew up before your time. And you've been lost ever since because you were lost in being the child that needed to feel safe. So now just tell this divine child that you are not going to allow them to carry this anymore. That together, both of you are breaking the contracts to this energy. Just tell the divine child that this is done. It was never yours to carry in the first place. And I'm giving you the power right now in this moment to let it go. It's not yours. And allow that energy to come from that divine child. Let that shedding come off. What does that divine child look like? Did they look lost? Did their clothes look tethered? Did their shoes look tethered? Not enough attention? No love shown? Their light is dim? Take all that away. Allow that to come off. Allow it to be transmuted. Allow that timeline of wherever it rooted, started from. Allow it to now just be transmuted, deactivated, neutralized. Let the hooks and cords of that timeline be moved, be removed. Now look at that divine child. I want you to give that divine child everything. The sky's the limit. There's no limitations on what you can give that child. Give that child the food, good food. Give that child the clothes. Give that child the shoes. Give that child the home. Give that child whatever cars that you want them to have. Give that divine child everything. Right now, give it to him. Give it, 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 give it. Let that child see it. Take that child by the hand. Walk up to a beautiful home. What is the imagination all about? Just imagining something that will come into fruition. What does that home look like? Take that child up to a home. Look at it. Feel it. Walk into it. What's it feel like? What's it look like? Take them into a room and say, this is their bed. This is their room. Take them into that. Feed that divine child. Give it to them. Give it, give it, give it. Don't stop giving yet. Keep looking. What else do you want to give that divine child? Sit at the table. Give the divine child beautiful food. Nice plates to eat off of. Beautiful glass to drink water or juice or nourishing, whatever it is. Give it to that child right now. Just give it. What's the favorite foods that you've always wanted to have, but for some reason you're being told no? Give it to the child. Give it to the divine child, which is you. give the divine child everything. Just give it. Just say they have it. Change their clothes. Fix their hair. Make everything beautiful. After you have given everything to that divine child, and you feel it for what it is, you feel it down to your core. You feel that ignition of love, that light pulsating. Your divine child is looking at you and saying, thank you. I feel so much better now. I don't have to carry that. Your divine child is just looking at you and saying, thank you. This is you. This is that part of you that you never give that attention to. Because somewhere along the line in life, you forgot about it. This divine child's been sitting in the background, carrying it, walking behind you, carrying all the stuff, while you just kind of move on through and loop all through. The divine child was just walking behind you, doing it with you, because that's all they know. Until someone finally says, stop doing it. Let it go. Stop trying to control it. Everything. You don't have to be the controller. Surrender. Let it go. And to be safe in letting it go and surrendering it. To step out of the loss, to step out of the, I gotta do it all. To step out of it. Now the divine child is not walking behind you. It's walking with you, beside you. And now take that divine child and pick him or her up and give him or her a big hug. And tell that divine child, I am here, I am present. It was never for you to hold all of that. Let's start living. And I want you to feel into that. Take a deep breath here. Just take a deep breath. What does that feel like right now? Just take a breath. Feel how when you just said no more, feel the release of the contracts, the hooks and cords to the person, place, thing, and situation of old cycle beliefs that had you caught up in looping. Feel that. Feel the sense of calmness and peace come over you. Feel that. What does that feel like for you? Feel the head talk stop. Because you just said no more. I turned that shit off. Feel that. Feel what it feels like to just stop looping. Now I just want you to bring your attention to that hug of that child within. And I want you to just bring both hands to your heart space and just hug yourself right there. Feel into that. Feel your breath. Feel how calm your chest feels. Feel how lighter it feels. Because whatever was going on that was bothering you, that was causing a blockage, and you didn't want to give yourself permission to face it, didn't want to give yourself permission to just say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. You now have given yourself peace. You now have given the divine child peace. You are now giving yourself permission to start anew. You're not going to have the same old dialogue with yourself. No. The new dialogue is, I am now choosing to create, fill in the blank. What are you going to create? What is the new energy that you would love to be in? Give yourself permission to connect to that right now. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Let your senses feel that. What does it feel like? Today is a day that you start something new and you talk to yourself in a different way. You're not going to have that dialogue playing because it's gone. You're claiming a new energy of yourself. You're stepping into that. And now, since you have that deep, divine, loved child within you that you just gave everything to in a flash of a thought, a flash of light, you gave everything to that divine child. You no longer are connected to that loss. Right now. Declare it so. And so it is. Just declare it. Because all of us have been in that place. And sometimes you just got to step up and say, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And give yourself full permission to be done with the timeline and create an entirely different new one. And as soon as you give yourself permission to stop looping and stop the energy, the universe has no choice but to align with what your new energy thought pattern is. What am I now creating? What am I now stepping into in the next 7 seconds? In the next 17 seconds, what am I going to release from my divine Heka into the ethers and make it so? And doing it without guilt, without shame, without any kind of judgment behind it. Just giving yourself 100% permission in 360 degrees all the way around to have it. To just be in that. Start anew. And don't apologize for doing it. And anything outside of what you are now creating, what you are choosing now to vibrate in, anything outside of that that represents lower energy, family members, friends, whatever that may be, you don't match with that. So don't apologize for raising yourself up out of the old cycle, the looping, illusions, and the beliefs of the words that were imprinted on you when you were little. You give yourself permission right now to just let that go. Be done. And allow a new energy to come in and align and take you to what your friend timeline. That's better. We're not going to settle for a fourth dimensional timeline, a fifth dimensional timeline. No, let's just kind of bump it up there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why not? Who said you couldn't have that? Who said that? We got rid of those energies a long time ago. Feel how your body's feeling right now. Feel how you feel. When you claim something and you decide to heal it and let it go, your blood pressure goes down. Your headaches start to recede. All the aches and pains that you carry in your body start to go down, release. Because it's not tied into that energy that was keeping it going. Change happens like this. So for all of you that have been dealing with that type of energy, feeling lost and displaced, feeling disempowered, this is that time when you go back to that divine child, which is you, that you forgot about, and tell them this was not yours to carry. It never was. And give them permission to let it go. And then you give that child everything. Everything. Give it everything. And feel it. Give it everything. Love, living, laughter, joy, inspiration, being empowered. Give that initial energy of life, stepping into it. And when you've given that divine child that attention, which is you, within, then everything outside of you will change. But it can't change until you take care of this inside and be willing to give yourself permission to let it go, to step out of it, to no longer be a victim to your circumstances that you kept looping in. That's the power of being empowered within yourself, and to be able to trust yourself enough to know you can make this change. Period. So I hope that this rings true for those of you that watched this today. Because as soon as you recognize what you're fearing, what you've been dealing with and lost, and that's a block. As soon as you recognize it, then give yourself permission to just release it. Be done with the timelines of it when it first started. Who gave you that? Who made you feel like that? See it dissolve. See that timeline gone. And just say you don't consent to it anymore. I don't consent to that timeline. Not mine to carry anymore. Drop the mic on that. Okay? Now just take a deep breath in and just release that energy. And let that energy just go out into the ethers. And just let it be removed out of your space. All right, lovelies, let's step into what we're finally in the new galactic time. So, blue rhythmic storm guided by self-generation. We're going to look at that. Take a breath here and breathe. It says, I organize in order to catalyze balancing the energy. I sealed the matrix of self-generation with the rhythmic tone of equality. I am guided by my own power double. The color is blue. The planet is Pluto's. The root is the chakra, and the earth family is gateway. And then the message underneath is we are at the time of the greatest intensification in the whole history of the earth, if not of the whole history of the solar system. Wow, that's very true. So this is going to be energy you're definitely going to feel here in the head energy and behind. This is also a good day of anointing the crown, spending time if you had to wash your hair like I did today, washing, getting all the shedded dead hairs out before I retwist and rebraid and put things back. You just want to take the time today to bring in the new energy. And because this is a bat energy, that bat energy is that kind of dealing with that rebirthing of self, being able to see in that space what needs to be moved out swiftly and fast, and then rebirthing into it. So let's take a look at, hold on. Let's take a look at that. Oh, okay. Okay. So that is bringing in that energy of transmutation and rebirth. Okay. So today I want each and every one of you to really just think about that. We're starting the new one. Tomorrow is the portal, so I'll make sure tomorrow to come on and we'll do some portal work. But I'm going to leave you with an energy of blind spot. What do we need to look at in the blind spot? Blind spot is kind of intense. And because it's our first day in our new calendar, which is the magnetic moon of purpose, unify, attract, and purpose. What is the purpose we're settling for today? What's your purpose? We're coming back to that energy, but on a different awareness. What's that purpose? Okay, we got number 21. Okay, so I'm going to give you a brief of this. We need to stop with this. The isolation energy. People don't isolate for no reason, but this isolation is not benefiting to you. It is about making the situation at hand impossible. You might be not asking for help, not accepting help, not communicating with others, not including others in your decisions, feeling you need to do things on your own and avoiding people. No matter what the case may be, the situation at hand cannot be solved if you continue to do this, to isolate yourself. There's a lot of people that isolate themselves and then they just keep going down that road. Okay? So when you're isolating yourself, you're not even connecting to someone that can actually help you maybe see something in a different perspective, a different light, to get that energy perspective on something. So be aware if you are isolating yourself. Be aware of that if you're isolating. Okay. All right, lovelies. I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. So it's a really easy thing to do for yourself. If you like to sit in a bathtub of water to do that, to really get the feel of releasing those emotions, that would be a good thing to do. If you want to write it out and then burn it up, that's a good thing to do. Hi, lovelies. Hi, lovely. But I really hope that this message really allows you to look at something that's been going on. We're in this energy right now where we have to look at where we're not really living our life. Okay. From an old perspective of things, life is short. It really is. It's very short. And you don't have time to play it small. And you don't have time to cater to other people's emotions and their stuff because they didn't work on themselves. They got wounds. If they're striking out, they got wounds too. And they need to go and work on themselves. Everybody has something that needs to be healed. And it's up to you when you recognize it to step up and claim it and heal it. You're the solution. You're the medicine for it. So, with that being said, I bid you all a wonderful day. Be good to yourselves. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe situations that are playing out. I'm sorry, but all the olive olay in the world would not help Kamala's neck right now because that mask is just not sitting right. Yes, I said it. I can't stand to see it. I can't seem to bypass it when I see that stupid commercial come up on YouTube. Hi, every little bit would help. You give us $10. No, I'm not giving you $10. You got your money when I first was born. That's enough. You're not getting any more. Deal with it. Anyway, I just went there. Couldn't help myself. I digress. How bad of me. Oh well. Just had to say I just can't stand it. Just if they could just fix the neck to look a little smoother, I might buy it. But I just can't. I can't. It bothers me to see that type of makeup job. even FX would do a better job. I'm sorry. Did I digress again? Poking at that. So anyway, lovelies, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for the love. I just couldn't resist, you know. You know you want to say it too. Come on. I'm not the only one that sees it. Come on. Call it out. Let's just call it out. So, everyone, have a good day. Tomorrow we'll jump into some good portal work. I tried. I was trying to behave myself. But right when I was coming on, that stupid campaign commercial came on. If they had comments underneath that, I'd be tearing it up. Then probably what would happen, there would be some men in black suits coming to the door finding me. We're to talk to you. We understand you have 3 different names for the same person you are. Yes, all 3 of us are here. Me, myself, and I. All right, lovely. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye. Yes, me, myself.